Welcome back to the channel, football fans. Today, we're diving deep into the magic of the FA Cup, a competition where dreams are made and giants can fall. Rewinding the clock to a match that perfectly embodies this spirit. A David versus Goliath clash between Manchester City and Exeter City. Now, I know what you might be thinking. A Premier League powerhouse against a team from the lower leagues. Sounds predictable, right? Well, that's where you'd be wrong. This isn't just any story. It's a tale of heart, determination, and a moment that went down in football folklore. So, grab your popcorn, get comfortable, and let's explore one of the most fascinating encounters in FA Cup history. The stage was set for a classic cup tie. On one side, you had Manchester City, a club with immense resources, world-class players, and a cabinet glistening with trophies. On the other, Exeter City, a proud club with a passionate fan base, but operating on a completely different financial planet. For the Exeter players, many of whom were part-time, this was the biggest game of their lives. A chance to test themselves against the very best. A chance to write their names into the history books. The build-up was electric. The media, the fans. Everyone was captivated by this quintessential FA Cup narrative. Could the underdogs from Devon really pull off the impossible? When the draw was made, the reaction in Exeter was pure jubilation. Drawing a giant like Manchester City wasn't just a tough fixture, it was a lifeline. The financial windfall from a game like this, especially with television rights and a packed stadium, could secure a smaller club's future for years. For the fans, it was a dream come true. A reward for their unwavering loyalty through thick and thin. Imagine the scenes in the pubs and homes across Exeter when Manchester City's name was pulled out of the hat. It was more than just a football match. It was a citywide event, a moment of collective excitement and pride. Let's set the scene at Exeter's home ground, St. James Park. It's not the Etihad, that's for sure. It's a proper, old-school football stadium. Tight, atmospheric, and full of character. The pitch itself was, let's say, not exactly a Premier League carpet. It was heavy, bumpy, and a real leveler. The roar of the home crowd was deafening, packed to the rafters, every single fan believing that on this day, their team could achieve something special. For the Manchester City superstars, used to pristine playing surfaces and state-of-the-art facilities, this was a world away from their comfort zone. This was grassroots football, raw and unfiltered. This was the FA Cup in its purest form. From the very first whistle, Exeter City showed they weren't just there to make up the numbers. They were fearless. They pressed high, they tackled hard, and they weren't intimidated by the big names on the opposing team sheet. Every 50-50 challenge was met with ferocious commitment, spurred on by the incredible noise from the home supporters. Manchester City, for their part, probably expected to control the game with ease, but they found themselves in a real battle. Exeter's game plan was clear. Disrupt City's rhythm, don't let them settle, and hit them on the counterattack whenever possible. And it was working. They were creating chances, putting the City defense under pressure, and you could feel the belief growing around the stadium. And then, it happened. The moment that every neutral fan was hoping for. Against all odds, Exeter City took the lead. The stadium erupted. It was a scene of pure, unadulterated joy. Strangers hugging strangers, a tidal wave of noise crashing down from the stands. The goal itself was a testament to their hard work. It wasn't a fluke. It was a well-worked move, finished with composure. For that one moment, Exeter City were leading one of the biggest clubs in the world. The players' celebration was a mixture of disbelief and ecstasy. They had dared to dream, and now that dream was becoming a reality. The giant was on the ropes. Now, you have to give credit to Manchester City. Being a top team isn't just about talent, it's about mentality. Going a goal down in such a hostile environment would have rattled lesser teams, but they didn't panic. They had the experience and the quality to respond. Slowly but surely, they started to impose their game, moving the ball quicker, finding pockets of space. The pressure began to mount on the Exeter goal. The home side defended for their lives, throwing bodies on the line, making heroic blocks. The goalkeeper was having the game of his life, pulling off save after save. But the onslaught was relentless. Eventually, The quality of Manchester City shone through, and they found an equalizer. You could almost feel a collective sigh of relief from the visiting players and a sense of here we go from their fans. But Exeter didn't crumble. Their heads didn't drop. Instead, they dug in even deeper. They had tasted what it was like to lead, and they weren't going to surrender easily. The game became a fascinating tactical battle. City dominated possession, probing for an opening, while Exeter defended with incredible organization and discipline, waiting for that one chance to break away again. It was end-to-end stuff, a truly captivating cup tie that had everyone on the edge of their seats. As the second half wore on, legs started to tire, especially for the Exeter players who were unused to this level of intensity for a full 90 minutes. Cramp said, but their spirit never wavered. Every player gave absolutely everything they had, leaving it all out on that muddy pitch. The manager made substitutions, trying to inject fresh energy into his heroic team. The crowd played their part too, becoming the 12th man, roaring their team on, willing them to hold on. The final minutes were agonizingly tense. City threw everything forward, looking for a winner to avoid the potential banana skin of a replay, while Exeter defended their goal like their lives depended on it. When the final whistle blew, the score was level. The Exeter players collapsed to the ground in exhaustion and celebration. They hadn't won the match, but they had earned a draw against one of the giants of English football. For them, it felt like a victory. They had secured a replay at the Etihad Stadium, another huge financial boost for the club, and another chance for the fans to see their heroes play on one of the grandest stages. The players went over to their supporters, who gave them a standing ovation fit for champions. It was a moment of immense pride for the club and the city. They had shown the world what they were made of. This match is a perfect example of why we all love the FA Cup. It's a competition that reminds us that, in football, anything is possible. It's not always about who has the most money or the biggest stars. It's about heart, passion, and belief. Exeter City's performance that day inspired a generation of fans and players at smaller clubs, proving that with the right attitude and a bit of luck, you can compete with the very best. It's a story that gets told and retold, a classic chapter in the rich history of this incredible tournament. It celebrates the underdog, the community spirit of football, and the simple fact that on any given day, magic can happen. Thank you so much for joining me on this trip down memory lane. What an incredible story. It just goes to show you the true magic of the FA Cup. What are some of your favorite underdog moments in football history? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to read them. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more stories from the beautiful game. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.